Well, what a superb day Melbourne is turning on for the big one. It's Saturday, the sun is out, it's going to be a beautiful day today. It is women's semi-finals day of the 2013 Australian Open Wildcard Playoff. Good morning, my name's Adrian Franklin. It's a pleasure to be with you. It is also a pleasure to welcome Alan Stone. Good morning, Stoney.
Good morning, Adrian, and looking forward to a great weekend's tennis, and particularly the semi-finals of the women's.
Now let's touch on those matches quickly. First up, it's a huge battle. Court 6, we're about 10 minutes away. It'll be Casey Delacroix against Tammy Patterson. So that's going to be tricky. I think both players play in a similar style. Then, second up, Arina Rodionova will take on Victoria Radjicic, the 7th seed. So they're the big matches today, the semi-finals, Stoney. But first, let's touch on yesterday, because we had the men. Now, we've got the finalists that have been decided. JP Smith took on Jordan Thompson. It was a difficult match. In the end, Jordan Thompson took it, and he's playing well at the moment.
Well, he's been the surprise packet, really, of this wildcard playoff. So he's not quite as credentialed as some of the players, but, gee, I loved his passion and his desperation yesterday, and that'll carry him a long way in any tennis match that he goes on. And JP Smith was perhaps a little disappointing. I mean, he was the #1 seed, but I just loved the attitude and, as I said, the desperation of Jordan Thompson, and he thoroughly deserved his win.
And he's pretty fiery as well, which we like, but we've got to make sure it doesn't go too far.
Well, look, you've got to be desperate. You've got to leave nothing undone when you're going in big matches like that, and he's certainly going to continue with that attitude for sure.
And the other match yesterday was Ben Mitchell taking on Luke Saville. They're good players. Ben Mitchell, in the end, I mean, for me, he won the playoff last year. He loves playing in December. He's the form player of the tournament so far.
Oh, yes, he is. And look, he was outstanding yesterday. He's moving beautifully, just glides around the court. All-court player. His ground strokes were superb. I was a little disappointed, I must say, in Luke Saville. I thought he was ready to show a little bit more than that. He's improved during the year. But it's a difficult time, this transition from being top junior to making it once you get out into the open ranks. And he's serving his apprenticeship. But a couple of years down the track, we'll see the best from Luke.
So that was yesterday, the semi-finals of the men, but today we're here for the semi-finals of the women. First up, it's Casey Delacroix taking on Tammy Patterson. An interesting battle, both play with similar styles.
Well, they do, but I think you just have to slightly lean towards Casey with the experience that she's got. I mean, she's been in 3 Grand Slam doubles finals this year, which means she's playing at major championships in front of full houses all around the world. She's played well here at Melbourne Park. She's been on Rod Laver Arena, and just a little bit of the edge there, I think, in big match and understanding what's required to win these sort of matches. Having said that, Tammy, they played each other in the final at Bendigo a couple of months ago, and Tammy Patterson lost there in straight sets, but I was having a quick chat to her after she warmed up this morning, and she said she's learned something from that match, and she was quietly confident of maybe even causing an upset here.
Then the second match will be Arina Rodionova taking on Victoria Radjicic. Radjicic is only 19 years of age. Her forehand has been awesome all week, and I'm a bit concerned Rodionova hasn't played since Tuesday.
Well, you can look at that 2 ways. She comes in very fresh and eager, or that the other ways that she might be lacking in a little bit of match play. But look, she's had a lot of experience also at this level, and perhaps that might serve her in good stead. But I'm looking forward to Radjicic, as you says. Her forehand is huge, and possibility that she might continue with this winning run.
So they're the 4 players in the women's semis final today. Let's have a look at all of them. They're in form, they're playing great. Let's check them out now. The excitement is building. It's women's semi-final day. They are the 4 players. I love those clips. Gets the goosebumps going. We're not too far away, Stoney. Now the weather, the sun has just poked out. It looks okay at the moment.
Just perfect. Just on start time. Out comes the sun. What more would you expect for weather from Melbourne?
So it's a maximum of 21 degrees, a little bit breezy, but I don't think there'll be rain around. So we were washed out earlier in the week, but today, Saturday, the weather is out at the right time of the week. Now, Twitter, Stoney, join the conversation. Hashtag AO Playoff. We've been on it all week. We had Ben Mitchell's brother talking yesterday. People from America, make sure you get on. Stoney, are you on Twitter at the moment?
Look, I'm still in the dinosaur category, but I'm getting there.
All right, so maybe don't direct the questions to Stoney, but I'll be there. We've got the commentators. We're not too far away from the tennis. Stoney, you're going to head into commentary with a very special guest as well. Yes,
looking forward to doing some commentary with Jelena Dokic, and it should be good.
So we'll be back right after this with Alan Stone, Jelena Dokic and Brett Phillips. This is Women's Semi-Finals Day. It's Saturday at the Wildcard Playoff.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's get down to business. Apologies for the delay. I got caught up.
Get caught up in the Australian Open this summer. Tickets are on sale. Book now.
I'll be playing Joe Wilfried Zonga. We always have fun on the court, even when it's serious. I think we have great chemistry on the court together. We also played an epic at the Australian Open last year, so I think people can really expect a great match, you know. I'm sure it's going to be a good show, and I hope this time I will be in. People should come in and, you know, enjoy it.
Yeah, it can be a great day of tennis. Welcome everyone here to Melbourne Park. It is, as Adrian and Stoney have told us, women's semi-final day. It's certainly a big prize to get through to the final of the Wildcard Playoff, and if you can win tomorrow, well, direct entry into the 2014 Australian Open. Casey Delacroix, her little bit of a scare against Monique Adamczak, dropping that first set 6-love, but obviously bounced back beautifully in her quarter-final. And Tammy Patterson, well, she played a great game a couple of days ago to knock out Yamila Gajdosova. And Tammy, this is a bit like for Jordan Thompson having made the boys' final, the men's final yesterday, is sort of a little bit of an outsider. If Tammy could get past Casey today, it'd be a significant breakthrough to get through to the final. And a girl is ranked around 300 in the world and trying to make some inroads. We'll welcome Jelena Dokic very shortly. An Alan Stoney commentary. We're about to hear from the 2 players going into battle here this morning. Great crowd in, and if you want to get down, free entry here at Melbourne Park for the semis and also the final tomorrow. Well, let's head down to Adrian Franklin. He has got Casey Delacroix, the top seed.
Casey, semi-final day. We've been playing all week. The nerves must be building getting into the most important part of the week.
I feel pretty good. Not overly nervous, but just looking forward to getting out here today and, you know, just trying to continue to work on the things I need to work on, and we'll just see how we go. And the conditions are okay today, they're better? Yeah, good for Melbourne, isn't it? Yeah. Good. We're used to playing in whatever conditions, so nice day today, and Saturday is always a good day for a bit of tennis, so look forward to it. Play well. Thanks. As we welcome Casey's opponent, Tammy Patterson, over to the mic. Good morning.
Hi, how you going?
Yeah, really well. Now, you both have similar game styles, you know, both really aggressive. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, Case hits the ball as hard as anyone, so I'm looking forward to it and seeing where I go.
Is this some of the best tennis you've played for quite a while, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I've kept my level pretty high lately, so yeah, just hopefully I can keep it high today. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Both players, a real sense of anticipation for Tammy Patterson. It would be a really big breakthrough to get past Casey Delacroix. Alan Stone's jumped out from on court back into the box here. Stoney, looking forward to a great day of tennis, and the one a little bit later on, Arina Rodionova, she hasn't played since Tuesday, so that'll be interesting. Victoria Radjicic, I thought, played a great game a couple of days ago. So 2 really good, cracking matches coming up.
Yes, and interesting, as I said, I had a chat to Tammy before she finished her warm-up, her practice, and I said, well, your backhand's usually your best shot. How's the forehand been going? I remember from junior days where it wasn't quite as good, and she says she's feeling a lot more confident. She's played a lot of matches this year, and she feels that her forehand has improved a bit, and I think that's obviously the case. Otherwise, she wouldn't be through.
So the toss of the coin. Casey's going to serve first, and it's a great pleasure to welcome into the commentary box the ladies' semi-final day, Jelena Dokic, who needs no introduction, who's competed at the Wildcard early this week. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And just a few days after playing your first match in about 2 years, how did you sort of analyse things, and how are you feeling after a big training block over the past couple of months here in Melbourne, but getting out and playing your first competitive match for quite a while?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, the first couple of matches are always tough, especially after a long break like that. But yeah, I've been training great, and you know, just got to keep on going. And you know, it wasn't obviously my you know, my best start, and had a tough first round opponent. But yeah, just got to keep going, keep training, and you know, overall I'm pretty happy what I've done over the last few months.
Tough matchup, Yaka first up, wasn't it? Because we know she's also had a bit of an interrupted year. Played a couple of those ITF events in China towards the end of the year, but she hits the ball extremely hard. There was no easing into it for you.
Yeah, yeah, that was a little bit difficult because she hits the ball quite hard and flat, so it's never a first round match that you want to have like that. And yeah, it was unfortunate. And I think for me, because I'm used to also playing the group round robin at the playoff every year, so it was unfortunate that I couldn't get more matches.
Yeah, a little bit cutthroat, but we'll talk to you throughout the day and see where things head from here. Casey Delacqua, she's the top seed from beautiful Perth, of course, and Jelena, you're going to be there for the Hopman Cup in a couple of weeks' time. And obviously, Casey's at the stage of her career having some great double success with Ash Barty, but really, really keen to make sure that her singles career doesn't fall away at 28 years of age, and finish the year on the Australian Pro Tour in exceptional form, winning back-to-back tournaments in Bendigo, and did defeat Tammy Patterson in one of those finals quite comprehensively, 6-3, 6-1. Her singles ranking at 141, and looking to get that back inside the top 100. And we go back to her match, Jelena, a couple of days ago. Monique Adamczak played some outstanding tennis in that first set to get over the line 6 games to love. And I think we're always keen to see how Casey bounced back, but really from the start of that second set, she was able to take control of the match.
Yeah, I actually spoke to her a little bit after that, and she said I was just trying to feel things out. It wasn't my plan to lose 6-love, but yeah, she made a great comeback, and you know, won the second and the third set pretty easy. But yeah, you know, she's a very tough opponent and competitor. I've done a few Fed Cups with her and played doubles with her, so yeah, it didn't surprise me that she came back after that.
Yeah, once she gets into a nice groove, Casey's still one of the best ball strikers in women's tennis. Stoney, you mentioned you had a little chat to Tammy Patterson. It would be a big breakthrough for her today, and if we look at her year, she made that final in Bendigo against Casey, a quarter-final in Perth on the Australian Pro Tour. She's played about 22 tournaments this year, 11 first-round exits. So for her to get deep into tournaments, and particularly here at the Wildcard, suggests that she's in reasonable form. And every time we see her here every year, she is a very good striker of the ball.
Well, she is, and we see her ranking there, 310. I think she's clearly a better player than that, and should be at least 100 spots better than that. And she's got some goals she set for 2014. Of course, they're a little bit dependent on how she finishes up here, because if you happen to win the Wildcard and you get into the Australian Open, that changes a lot of things. But she's going to play Burnie and you know, down in Tassie in February, and take it from there, and then a full year on the circuit. So I think she is improving. I think we can see a good year from her in 2014.
Jelena, just your thoughts on Tammy. I mean, you get to about 300 in the world. Obviously, you can play, you can compete, and it's just trying to take that next step and get a bit further into some of these events to get to semi-finals and finals and improve that ranking. She's sort of always been around the mark, but just waiting for her to kick on, but still, you know, quite young at 23 and a real window open.
Yeah, she's a great ball striker. I actually played her 3 years ago at the playoff, and I had no idea, you know, how she plays and what to expect. And I did win a very tight 3-set match, but she was hitting the ball so well. And I definitely, you know, think that she's much, much better than 310. I did speak to Louise Fleming, who's working with her. I spoke to her this morning, and she said she had a very tough, you know, year and very tough first tournament out of those two last ones that that most of the girls played, and she lost first round easily, and she was down a set 3-1 in the second one in the first round, and she kind of managed to pull out of that one and got a few tough matches and wins, and just kind of scrambled through and got to the final. And she said it made a huge difference to her confidence, and that she's really been playing well since then and training well. So maybe it was a turnaround for her, and she's definitely playing well here. And I watched her play Yaka the other day, and I think she did well because it was very, very tight in the third set, and she managed to pull through.
Yeah, it was a great test after Yaka came back and won that second set, and she really was able to hold her composure well. So Casey Delacqua to get things underway for a spot in the final.
There's
a fair bit of cloud cover over, but also plenty of sunshine, so always a typical mixed bag Melbourne day, but the weather should hold here.
30, love.
Well, Delaney, do you think Tammy might be a bit nervous? A couple of slightly off-centre hits there to start the match?
Yeah, it could be. I also think there is a big difference between her first two matches that she played, and especially the last one 2 days ago, because Casey is a lefty. I think that makes a huge difference. And also Casey does play a little bit different. She disguises her shots very well. She doesn't hit as just flat and hard down the court like maybe Yaka did, and it's a completely different kind of player. So I think she'll probably need at least a couple games to settle in as well.
You're looking for a comfortable hold here on serve.
$40.15.
That one wide from Patterson. A comfortable opening service game for the number one seed, Casey Delacqua, leading at 1 game to love in this opening set. I always find it fascinating, Ilana, coming to the Wildcard every year on these outside courts and dealing with the elements. And Melbourne Park, of course, being put together for the Australian Open. Does it make any difference to playing in a full house on RLA to out here with just the things that can distract you, or are you just such in the zone any tennis match you play that it really doesn't have any effect?
I mean, obviously it's different having a full house and playing in front of only 4 people, but I think it's still all the they try to make it like the Australian Open, and it is the court and everything, and it's as similar to it as you can get. So I still think it's a great opportunity to play the matches out here and get ready for the summer.
Love 15.
You just get a feeling Casey's in that mood today. Then short, Ellen, she's going to look to pounce on.
Well, she pushes you around the court, Casey. She hits hard and pretty flat, and she likes to get in the first good strike in the rally, which gets her opponents off balance. And you really, when you play her, you feel you're playing the match on her terms. And if she executes well, you're in trouble.
$30.15.
So very important, this opening service game for Patterson. Got to make a statement here and hold.
40-15.
Problem with the sun. Never thought we'd be seeing that. That's 3 in a row. She has to buy the drinks. Well, not really a surprise that she would double fault there after having trouble putting the ball in the right spot. Can be a bit tricky, this the sun from the southern end this time of the day.
Yes.
I think it's important for her to hold here. She's had sprayed a few and had a few unforced errors, and I think maybe her nerves are still, a little bit there. Would have been nice to hold at 40-15, and I think this game is very important for her just to get on board in the first set.
It can be difficult when she's striking it like that from the back of the court. So yeah, little opportunity to get through a comfortable service game has now turned into a breakpoint opportunity for Delacqua. Yeah, well played.
That's a good shot.
Cheers. Advantage Patterson.
Quite moving her feet there and getting in a position for that shot. When you hit it as hard and aggressively as Casey does, if you're not quite in the right spot, make some errors.
Game Patterson.
So Patterson saves off a break point and does hold her opening service game. As Yolanda said, important for her to get on the board with Casey Delacqua in this opening set. It is the top seed and the 8th seed here in the semi-final. Hashtag AO Playoff if you want to join the conversation on Twitter.
Love 15.
Yeah, that's good play. I think she does have to be aggressive as much as she can, but trying to keep those errors down because Casey does like to dictate, and I think it's important for her to keep Casey moving and just keep her running as much as she can.
$15 off.
Beautiful serve down the tee from Delacqua.
Classic left-hander slider there.
Yep.
That's great play. I think
40-15.
the doubles comes in handy as well. I think she's played a lot of doubles this year, and but just this match, I have a feeling she started very off. She's very sharp from the first point, and she's looking good so far. So.
40-30.
Do you have any preference for playing left or right-handers, Elaine? I mean, a good lefty serve like this?
Yeah, look, we're just so used to, as a right-hander, playing right-handers. There's not too many left-handers on tour, so sometimes when you haven't played one or practiced with one for a long time, everything's a bit different, and you kind of feel like the ball's really coming from a different angle, especially the serve.
Delacqua leads 2 games to 1.
So it can be a bit tricky.
Yeah, good hold here for Casey Delacqua. She leads it 2 games to 1 on women's semi-final day.
Hi, Alicia Mollick here. This is my latest MLC Tennis Hot Shots tip. It's to help you control your power. For those of you just starting, controlling your power and hitting lots of balls is really important. To create some power, make sure you use your legs in every shot. Swing smoothly with your arm and don't forget to follow through towards your target. That's all for today. Keep practicing and having fun with MLC Tennis Hot Shots. Another tip coming soon.
Thank you, Alicia, and there she is. She's been a regular fixture this week in the stands, watching all the Aussie girls. Our Fed Cup captain, big tie, isn't it, Yelena, against Russia in Hobart, I think a couple of weeks after the Australian Open. We know that Russia didn't perhaps have their strongest team v Italy for the Fed Cup final, but we'll see who does represent them, but obviously a massive challenge for our girls.
Yeah. It'll be interesting though, because the teams change so much. They have sometimes very, very strong team, and I was surprised with the Fed Cup final who played, so it'll be interesting to see who they put up. And yeah, we are playing at home, so it'll be tough tie regardless.
15 love.
So we're on serve here at the moment. First of the 2 women's semis, and I think when I interviewed you a few weeks ago now, I know you made the remark to me that your time out of the game, you do watch, you're still watching quite a bit of tennis?
Yeah, I watch women's tennis, but I watch men's tennis a lot too. I think it's very interesting, and you can learn a lot, I think, from just watching, and just also tend to learn a lot, what players do when you watch them on TV rather than even sometimes just playing the match. So yeah, I love to watch the matches, and as hard as it is sometimes when you're out and injured, but yeah, I enjoy to watch it very much.
Lovely angled serve there. Such an effective serve, that slider on the juice court.
Great shot. That's typical Casey. She really dictated play there, and it's a fantastic shot.
Trademark, isn't it? How she leans, squats down almost, and leans away to hit that off forehand. It's an absolute
great shot.
Corker, it is.
So great point now against Tammy's serve. Just going to keep this unforced error count under control.
Casey's making her play a lot. I think it's, she's trying to get a lot of returns in, which she's doing, and yeah, just a little too consistent for Tammy.
Yeah, so there's the first break. It's coming the 4th game here. Casey Delacqua leading it 3 games to 1, the top seed.
Well, it's paid the penalty for missing that very easy ball at the second point when you hit a good serve, just miss-hit return, a very easy put away, and I think that shook her up a little that she lost that point.
Well, I think against Casey, it's just something you can't do. You can't give her too many free points, and when you do have your opportunities, you have to take them. And like we just saw with this this shot right now, first serve, great second shot. So yeah, she's very solid and looking very sharp today.
30 love. 40, love.
Easy service game, it looks like, which is just what you want after breaking serve. Don't really consider that you've got the break until you hang on to your next service game.
Forty, 15. Game, Delacroix. Delacroix leads 4 games to 1.
So Casey Delacroix gets through a comfortable service game, 4 games to 1. We're going to check in with Adrian Franklin.
Alicia, Casey Delacroix's just gone to a 4-1 lead. It was even there in the early stages, but she's just pushed out, hasn't she?
Yeah, look, and I think the difference for Casey today is no doubt the other day against Monique Adams actually had a really slow start, so no question Casey's made a conscious effort to come out very strong very early, but what she's doing very well is spreading the court. She just holds her forehand exceptionally well. She's used it down the line really effectively against Tammy, so she's really caught her out on that side quite a bit.
It's such a big opportunity for both players, but particularly Tammy Patterson. Semi-finals, if she can win this, I mean, the other semi-final is somewhat open, you could say. So do you think nerves might play a part? She's thinking, you know, if I win this, I'm only 1 game away from the Australian Open.
No, I think more than anything, all 4 players would be really excited that in 2 matches' time, they can all be the deserving recipient of the wildcard. You know, I think Tammy's been playing long enough, as has Casey, Arena, maybe Vicky being the youngest, a little slightly different scenario, but I'd probably expect more nerves to be in place in the second match, Arena versus Vicky. But, you know, a different sort of pressure on Casey. She's expected to win, I think, in most people's eyes, so that comes with a lot of different pressures as well.
As Tammy Patterson serving now, 1-4, she's just won that first point. Really important for her to respond right now, isn't it?
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is to let Casey, you know, get a run on the scoreboard. And I mentioned she's been using her shape really well, but this is the perfect position that Casey would like to see herself in. One thing that I've been really impressed with from Casey is her first serve. She's really been hitting her spots and hasn't needed to rely on her second serve too much. She's really been able to force a lot of errors from her serve, but I think key for Tammy is real patience. I think a lot of players get caught up in the fact that Casey is a great ball striker, and the player down the other end always feels like they have to immediately match that of Casey.
So Patterson goes out to 30 love, really needs to hold this one. Hopefully she can. Thank you again, Alicia Mollick, for your time.
Pleasure, enjoy the match.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Adrian. Alicia Mollick enjoying the beautiful sunshine here on women's semi-final day. Tammy Patterson looking to hold her serve and stay competitive in this opening set.
Yeah, I think it's important to hold here. Like Alicia said, you know, if you let Casey kind of run away, you know, with this set, it's going to be very hard to come back. She seems to be, you know, playing well today and striking the ball well. So I think it's important for Tammy if she can hold here, even if she doesn't win the first set, just kind of to have a feeling, you know, that she's getting more into this match.
40-15.
Oh, excellent second serve there. Really quality serve that set up the forehand.
Yeah.
Game, Patterson.
Yeah, it's a great serve down the middle, so an important hold for Tammy Patterson. Casey still with the break, 4 games to 2 here on our broadcast court. One thing I'm keen to ask you, Yolani, you've played at the top end of women's tennis against the best. You've had to come back a couple of times where you're playing against some lower ranked players to work your way back. What are the characteristics you notice about the top echelon of women's tennis players? And you know, we look at a Tammy at 300 in the world who can play pretty well, but obviously it's a long climb from there. But what do you notice about the best and then those who are trying to be the best?
Well, I think we all hit the ball very well. I think if you watch a practice between someone that's maybe ranked 100 in the world and someone that's top 5. You don't see much of a difference. But I think when the points start, when the matches start, it's little things, but they just they hit the ball a little bit harder. They're a little bit more consistent, and I think the physical part's the big thing, that they just move so well in the top 5 and top 10. They're incredible movers, and I think they also mentally, they really know how to play the game, and a lot of them are very smart players, and also great competitors. As I see the top 10. They're incredible competitors, and I think, those are all the little things that you pick here and there, but they make a huge difference. And I think, just on that note, I think the difference between the top players is they always seem to be improving. Whether it's whatever shot is their weakness, or they just keep. You see them at the beginning of the year, you see them 3 months later, then you see them at the end of the year. They all seem to be improving always, and trying to add something new to that game. And I think that's very important if you want to stay ahead, and if you want to keep on getting better, you always have to go out there on the practice court every day and just try to do everything that you can just to keep on getting better.
Just flying past Tammy, who had a breakpoint opportunity. So little moments like that in the match are going to pop up for Tammy Patterson to try and make some inroads, but Casey gets it back to Juice. Second breakpoint opportunity.
And a bit of a chance here. I find that kind of she got out of that last game and seems to be striking the ball well now, and it'd be good if she can get a break here. It'll definitely make the match more interesting.
Cheers.
That was a gutsy, deep second serve there.
That's a great shot. She's got some firepower, we know, Tammy Patterson.
Well, this is the best shot, Yelena, isn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like, this was close to the line. But, I think she has to keep Casey moving. She can't play too many shots to the same side, and, she'll get punished. But this is the third break point saved, and I think Casey's been serving very well out wide, and even if she gets the next shot back, she's been doing very well to finish it off. So.
It's again a free point with that good sliding lefty serve.
Yeah, this sliding serve seems to be going away from Tammy a little bit, and she kind of seems to be having some trouble with it and kind of not going forward and staying on it.
So Casey gets out of a bit of trouble. She's saying 3 breakpoint opportunities, but it is Casey Delacroix leading it 5 games to 2 here on women's semi-final day. And a big feature, of course, coming up in the build-up to Australian Open 2014 is Kids Tennis Day. It is coming up on Saturday, January 11. I know some of the top players also sort of get involved, all the Nickelodeon characters, MLC Tennis Hotshots. Make sure you get along and bring the kids. It's the final day of qualies here at Melbourne Park. So $10 for adults, free for kids under 16. make sure you purchase tickets for the event, and plenty of surprise special guests coming along. Ticketek is the place to head. Do not miss it. It's always been a very popular day. Starting good for the kids too to
Oh, it is. It's
get
really
involved.
a lot of these kids who come to that might be their first experience at a Grand Slam event, and they might get caught up in it, hopefully, and they might go on and then take lessons at the local club, and 10 years' time we could be seeing them here playing.
Absolutely. It is the best summer event for the kids.
Let's first up. Off.
So that last game should give Patterson a bit of confidence, even though she didn't break. She had some opportunities, and she didn't play poorly on the break points. It was quality serving that saved Delacroix.
Yeah, she's played two pretty good games since 4-1, much better than the start. So.
Well, that's what you were talking about, Yelena, moving Casey. She's sometimes a little slow on the turn to recover and react. And
I think she likes it when you play a couple balls to the same side, and then she kind of starts to dictate. She plays very hard and flat, and like I said, I've practiced with her a lot, and being in Fed Cup with her quite a few times, and played doubles with her in Fed Cup, and sometimes I find a little bit to read where she's going to play, and just being a lefty, it just gives you a different view. So I think it's important just to keep her moving, especially if she's striking the ball well.
Well, that's the perfect way to return serve. Take it inside the baseline, get it early.
Well, she has played a lot of doubles this year. I think that this is where you see it. You know, her returns are great, and Tammy will have to try and keep those first serve percentages up, because Casey has
40-30
stepped in quite a few times on the second serve. So.
Game, Patterson.
So another important hold for Patterson just to stay in this opening set. It'll be Casey Delacroix to come out and serve for the set at 5-3. And of course the other women's semi coming up will be Irina Rodionova taking on Victoria Rajicic, who's in her hometown. Irina also calling Melbourne home for parts of the year.
Off.
There's that backhand again. The sliding serve is really working well for Casey. I see she's really using it a lot, and again seems to be going away from Tammy, and she's having a lot of trouble with that.
There's some great power generated by both players.
15 off.
Well, turning defence into attack there, she was just fending off some of these huge drives, and then just a half opening there.
That was a great shot.
Really surprised Delacroix with that one. Another slight opening here for Tammy.
Another little mini chance. There's that serve to the backhand again. I think just to keep an eye out on that one. I think also if she can, I know that Casey does play quite flat, but having to use the angles a little bit more. I think playing just a little bit up and down in the court and playing deep to Casey, I think that suits her well. So if she can kind of, play a few angles a little bit and get Casey out of court and moving up and down the court.
30-40.
Well, there was a lack of movement there. She didn't really get up to the ball. She planted her foot, her front foot, and then the ball wasn't quite where she hoped. Had to lunge forward, couldn't control it. Another chance to break.
What she loves to do, Casey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Flattens it out beautifully.
I think, you know, you can't give Casey this kind of shot, you know, down the middle of a court and get punished. So.
Advantage Patterson.
That's a great shot.
Well, once again, creating an opportunity.
Yeah, this will be her 5th opportunity in the set to try and break the Delacroix serve.
Cheers.
That's a great mix-up because she served every time on the break point out wide, sliding serve to the backhand, and this was straight down the forehand. So
seems to have taken a bit of pace off the serve and added a little bit more spin and getting a high percentage in. So it's pretty smart serving from her.
Advantage Patterson.
6th break point.
Cheers.
Well, she'll be disappointed with that because she was right in the rally there. She did have a chance.
Yeah.
Advantage Patterson.
So another little window. 0 from 6 so far.
Yeah, 7th break point. She needs to do something on one of these.
Let's first serve.
Yeah, great play. She's done it. She's done the same play.
Yes.
I think 4 out of 7 times, gone out wide and played back behind her. So she served very well on the break points as well to get out of trouble.
And of course, it starts to play on your mind mentally if you've had it. You start counting them yourself. That's 6 I've had, now 7.
Advantage Patterson.
That's great play. I think she did miss-hit the return a little bit, but yeah, she got to get Casey out of court as much as you can, out of position, and that was great play.
Yeah, 8th time lucky for Tammy Patterson. Have to work extra hard, but she's broken back here. Casey Delacroix leads it 5 games to 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's get down to business. Apologies for the delay. I got caught up.
Get caught up in the Australian Open this summer. Tickets are on sale. Book now.
Yes, get your tickets, tickettech.com.au. Arena Rodionova preparing for her match coming up next against Victoria Radjicic. I know when she, of course, had to miss her quarterfinal with Storm Sanders injured a couple of days ago, she was courtside watching all the matches with Louise Fleming and taking lots of notes. Big Tyrone Vickery, Ellen alongside Arena, looking for another big year with the Tigers.
Yes. Well, I'm not a Tiger supporter, but I hope that they can do well, because they've got almost as long a serving supporters as my team, Melbourne.
Oh, yes. It's been a bit of pain for both of those clubs.
Yeah. Well, it was the light at the end of the tunnel for the Tigers, I think.
Yes. You follow any AFL at all?
Oh, not that much. I did train with the Richmond Football Club.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple of years ago. So.
Love 15.
Well, it was a good effort of Patterson's to break back. It was always there, because she'd had some chances, and you break serve by building up pressure over a period of time, but she's got to consolidate now. She mustn't play a loose game here.
It was 4-1 and she was almost
15
out of the set, but she did well to get back, and I think it's very important to hold here, and you know, then you're at 5-all, it's a different ball game.
30-15.
That's great play. She really seems to be moving
40,
Casey
15.
around now, and seems to have gotten a little bit more settled, and he's hitting the ball well.
Well, she did mention to me she feels her forehand is much more of a weapon now. She's got more confidence in it, and that would appear to be the case.
$40-30. Cheers.
That's bad luck, but I thought she played that point very well, and yeah, he's really moving Casey around the court right now.
Well, it's just tightened up a little. 40-15, looked comfortable. And just
Two forehand errors there. Kind of felt like she didn't really hit through them and kind of slapped down on them. Just to be careful, it's juice here. Yeah, that's another great play.
Advantage Patterson. Game Patterson.
So important hold for Tammy
5
Patterson
games all.
after she broke. She's got it back all square at 5 games all in a really entertaining first women's semi-final here. Yelena Dokic, our special guest commentator on this Saturday here in Melbourne. Yelena, just your plans for the next little period. We know you're going to be a reserve for the Hopman Cup and doing some commentary. That's step number 1.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, going to Hopman Cup and you know, training there, and you know, being a reserve, you never know, you might get to play a match or two, and doing some commentary. So I'm very excited about that. And then we'll see from there what happens, what chance I get to play in the summer. Be great to get a chance to, you know, play at the Open and maybe a tournament before that, but we'll see.
Out 30, love.
I think the good thing for you is that you're injury free, and
yeah,
you can then, you know, build on that and get some matches. And
Yeah, I've been saying that for the last, since I got here. First of all, 2 years is a very long time to be out, but just the most important thing right now is just to be healthy and be injury-free more than anything. At this stage, it's not so much about a lost match or a lost tournament, and you got to give yourself some time. So right now, I'm just happy to be injury-free, training, full 100%, and just going forward every day and every week. And next thing is just to get as many matches as I can. Important for Casey to hold here, I think. After 4-1, she's kind of only one game, and Tammy seems to have gone on a bit of a roll, so I think it's important for Casey to hold here. It's a great game.
Just that. So Delacroix leads in 6 games to 5 here on women's semi-final day. We're going to bring Adrian Franklin into the conversation. Where are you, Frankie?
I'm just in the studio, guys. I love being here, actually. It's very comfortable. We've got people just walking in behind me here. Lots of people streaming down to Melbourne Park. But I do want to talk about the match coming up next. It's Victoria Radjicic taking on Arina Rodionova. Arina's been sitting in the stands during the week. She's currently there enjoying the sunshine and watching who might be her opponent in the final. But I'm a little bit concerned. We touched on it earlier. There's Arina there with Ty Vickery from the Richmond Football Club. Arina hasn't played since Tuesday. Her first round match, she beat Sally Pierce in straight sets. She only lost 4 games. Then she was going to play Storm Sanders in the quarterfinals, and that was a walkover. Sanders had an injury. So she's got to play today. It's a semi-final, and I just don't know if she's going to be in her best form because she hasn't had the matches that Radjicic has had. We spoke about Victoria earlier. Her forehand was dominant when she played Jess Moore in her quarterfinal, and she's in great form. She had a tough 3-set battle. So I'm curious to find out from you guys, particularly Yelena, whether, having not played since Tuesday, whether that may have an impact going into today.
I think maybe, yeah, it could. I always feel like, when you're at a tournament, you kind of play match after match. You get better and better as the tournament goes on, especially winning. I think confidence plays a big part, and you kind of start to see the ball bigger and bigger as the tournament goes on. So she hasn't played since Tuesday. That's 4 days, whereas Victoria has, and I know she played well in that second round match as well, and she did play 3 sets, but yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens. 2 completely different players, different styles. So the fact that Victoria did have a match 2 days ago and she's probably feeling really, really good and really confident might play a big part, might be the difference today.
So Casey looking to really get this first set closed out here rather than go to a tiebreaker, really attacking Patterson.
Let's Fesser. $15.30.
Yeah, I know you've been doing a lot of work with Todd Woodbridge the last little period. He really has spoken really glowingly about Victoria. I think she's ranked about just inside that top 300. Looking for those next players that are going to emerge, and she does play different sort of games. It's not a booming serve, but really good placement. She really thinks her way around the tennis court extremely well. As Casey Delacroix's got a couple of set points here.
Yeah, there's a couple of loose errors there from Tammy, and I think that's always dangerous with Casey. And yeah, I played Victoria 3 years ago at the playoff as well, I felt like she had some good things in her game. She had a few things that she needed to work on. Haven't seen her play too much this year, but obviously she's playing well.
30-40.
It's a bit of a missed chance for Casey there. I felt like she was dominating that point.
Yeah, she had a lot of time to think about that shot.
Yeah.
So still a set point here for Casey Delacroix, top seed.
Cheers.
Casey just questioning the umpire, because sometimes when the ball seems to skid like that, it indicates it might have makes the opponent really rush, as if it's come off the back of the line, which it might have.
Yeah, looks like it from here.
Advantage to Aqua.
That's a great shot from Casey. That's a great deep return, and
it's a trademark sort of offset cross court.
Well, the ability to produce the angle after a deep one, then an angle.
Yeah. But also just getting on with the play. There was a set point. She felt like she didn't get a good call, and she kind of just went on with it. It's great for her mind.
And that one long from Tammy Patterson. So Casey Delacqua takes the opening set. 7 games to 5. So she faced a battle against Tammy Patterson, who worked her way back, but Casey gets the job done at the business end of the set after, of course, being blown away by Monique Adamsack in their quarter-final. 6 games to love. She's made an early statement here. Yolanda, take us through some of the highlights here. It was certainly early on, all Casey.
Yeah, it was. I feel like she's just more consistent at the moment, just making less errors and just really taking her opportunities when she has them, and really working the court there. I felt like Tammy wasn't doing that at all at the beginning of the match. Did start to after 4-1, but just a little bit, another 2 loose games there at 5-all. I think she did great to come back. Just wasn't able to kind of stick with it. But great effort from Casey. I feel like she really came out firing. Probably wasn't too happy with losing that first set to Monique 6-love, and feel like she was really sharp today.
Yeah, great start. 7 games to 5. We're going to be back with the second set in just a tick. As the second set gets underway here on women's semi-final day, Casey Delacqua taking the first set, 7 games to 5.
I think it's important for Tammy here just to, keep it going, not get down on herself, because she did well to get back into that first set, even though she lost at 7-5, but just gotta kind of try to keep her error count down and just try to keep Casey moving as much as she can.
Yeah, well done. Standing in the drop shot, I think it's the first time we've seen her do that today.
I think she should try and do that a little bit. I mean, I think even if she doesn't win the points, I think it's important just to try those different things. And like I said, try to keep maybe Casey moving a little bit more, forward and up and down, maybe some angles. She's hitting the ball very well. So we just got to try different things.
Love 40.
Run, looking for that one up the line.
15-40.
Still a couple of breakpoint opportunities here for Tammy Patterson. Well played.
Patterson.
Really good attacking first game of the second set.
First game, second set.
And she gets a break of serve. She was able to do that, of course, in the opening set. So Casey, of course, taking the first 7 games to 5. Well, make sure you get down here tomorrow. Free entry into Melbourne Park. This should be a beauty. Ellen Stone and Yolanda Benjamin Mitchell, who's been in superb form. Only his mum maybe calls him Benjamin. But he's won in straight sets all his matches this week. His effort against Saville yesterday was exemplary. And Jordan Thompson, who I set for quite a bit of his match courtside, was rotating in out of the box, don't he? Gee, a kid with a real outward personality. He's got a big game. He's ranked around 300 in the world. This is a really big breakthrough to make the final here.
Well, they're different personalities, aren't they? Ben doesn't turn a hair, it's all internal, and Jordan is like a time bomb, but I just loved watching him play. I think he brings some real excitement and passion to the court, as long as he is able to use it the correct way.
Love 15.
Yeah, every shot was sort of life and death yesterday. He was riding every ball, Jordan, but you're right, I mean, as long as that's channeled in the right area, but he was able to come through. JP took that third set. Often you think the highest seeded player is going to rally and go on to win the match, but he stuck fat, Jordan Thompson. Big moment. Biggest win of his career.
In trouble here on serve, love 30. Yeah, I think she needs to try and hold here. If she can, she made a great start to the set.
Love 40.
Just long with the backhand, so yeah, a bit of strife here at love 40. Break for break.
$15.40.
Had a chance to watch much of the men here this week?
I watched a little bit. Luke Saville and Ben yesterday. Yeah, I thought Ben played really well. Yeah, I watched a couple of matches. I think it'll be a great final, great opportunity for both of them, I guess. Ben won it last year.
And got
a chance to play, so yeah.
One game
great
off.
strides in the last 12 months also.
So 2 breaks of serve to start this second set. Tight first set.
Love 15.
Doesn't hit her forehand down the line as well when she's in her forehand corner, because she doesn't come around the side of it and hook it in with topspin. It's more of an off forehand, and it fades wide a bit, that shot for her.
15 all.
That's another great serve. She really hitting that one out wide, and Tammy's not picking it up yet. She doesn't. Yeah, that's a great serve.
$30.15.
Casey's just a little bit too consistent at the moment. Few errors coming off Tammy's racket again. And some of the service games that Casey's, winning quite easily, and I think that's different at the moment. Whereas Casey's really making Tammy play as much as she can on Tammy's service games. So.
That one wide from Patterson, so she does get on the board after having a serve broken at the start of the second set, but it is Casey a set and 2-1, looking for a spot in the final. Coming up tomorrow, you don't want to miss this. Yeah, going to be a great final coming up tomorrow. Ben Mitchell has not dropped a set all week. He has been in superb form. Third seed, the fourth seed, Jordan Thompson. He's had 3 4-set matches. So he has gone the journey as a 19-year-old young man, but he's, I'm sure, got an appetite for one more big match tomorrow. To get through to the main draw of the Australian Open would be a huge breakthrough for a young man ranked outside the top 300. What a moment just to play here, the first Grand Slam of the year. But he's going to have to play exceptional tennis because Ben Mitchell, looking to go back-to-back, is in great form in this December period. So, with a couple of breaks to serve, the 3 games so far of this second set. Alan Stone, Jelena Dokic alongside me here on a beautiful Melbourne day. The sunshine is out.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Love 30.
Casey really seems to be on top of it again, and after losing that opening game and getting broken, she really did very well in the last 2 games, and she's got love 30 on Tammy's serve now. So
Tammy's second serve's just starting to drop a little short, and that spells trouble against the power of Delacroix.
$15.30.
Is that forehand again? I do think that's her weaker side, Casey, a little bit sometimes. That's a great play.
15-40.
Again, she's really moving Tammy around, and I'm really dictating play here.
Yeah, significant moment you feel here for Tammy Patterson as she loses serve here, really loses touch with the match. And it does sail out, so she knows it too. A big 4th game.
Leads 3 games.
Ground to make up, being a set, and now 3-1 down in the second.
Yeah, I think Casey's played really well the last 2 games, really putting all those returns in, really making Tammy play a lot, and yeah, Tammy's just really made those unforced errors, and that's made the difference. So.
Well, she's only lost 3 points in the last 3 games, which is an indication of really how much she's regained control. Louise Fleming there.
Okay. It's helping Tammy out.
So just for yourself, obviously Todd's been doing a little bit of work with you. What's sort of going to be the setup going forward in terms of a regular coach, or is it going to be sort of blocks with different people? How's that going to work?
Well, we've been working the last 6-7 weeks, and that was the plan. And yeah, we're going to continue. Obviously, he's doing his work and his commentary, but we're going to continue working throughout the summer as much as we can. And I am playing another 2 tournaments after Australian Open in Australia as well. So
15
I think that's a fantastic schedule for me. Hopefully get as many matches as I can, and yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of making decisions at the moment, just going week by week, and don't have a full-time coach at the moment, so we'll see what will happen and what opportunities come up.
$15.30.
Well, again, Casey just a little bit slow on the turn there.
A little bit slow to the shorter ball as well.
30 off.
There's the 1-2 punch. Nice slider. Takes Patterson well out of court. Exposes the open forehand.
Really using that slide serve very well. And just playing to the open court. Really keeping Tammy guessing because she's gone quite a few times behind her. So she's using that play a lot. It's really been helpful to her today on those break points as well. And another 15-30 save right here. That's a fantastic shot.
40-30.
That's something that Tammy should probably be looking to use a bit more, and Casey doing a great job here. Great angle.
Fantastic angle. So a chance to hold here. 4-1 lead in the second set.
Juice.
There's that short ball on the forehand
Yeah,
again,
there's
Yelena.
that
She's not
forehand
quite
again.
as confident on that
Yeah,
shot, is she?
it doesn't look like, it's definitely something that should probably a bit of that weakness.
Advantage to Aqua.
Yeah, I like the way that she's mixed up her service placement. It's been excellent.
She's serving very well today. I think her first serve has been fantastic.
On sails wide, so another hold for Casey Delacroix. She's a set and 4-1 up here in this women's semi-final. Adrian Franklin is in the stands with Louise Fleming, of course, well-known tennis coach, who's been doing a fair bit of work with Tammy Patterson. Over to you, Adrian.
Louise, tough time at the moment. Tammy really tried to fight in that game. What does she need to do to try and get back in this second set?
Yeah, she's just got to keep a little bit more of a consistent ball. She's got to really hang in there with Casey, and I think the last couple of games, just a few cheap kind of games, too many errors. She's got to keep trying to get a higher percentage of first serves in. Her serve's only about 60%. Casey's really serving very well, so she's able to dominate in her service games. Tam's just got to keep a little bit deeper rally ball and try to set the play up and get Casey moving a little bit. Casey's been very good off the backhand. That backhand cross is really damaging, so if Tam can just stretch her, get her into the angles a little bit, just get her moving, and she's just got to be a little bit more solid and just have a really good intent on her serve here so she gets that percentage up a little higher.
And you've got the iPad here as well, so you're just tapping away?
Yeah, got the Pro Tracker. It's good. It's great for percentages and just keeps a good flow in the game.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Adrian. Great insight into what Tammy Patterson needs to do here.
Let's go, sir.
Well, pretty much exactly Louise was saying what Yelena was saying there, just about as if she was listening to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, just, too many 3 points, and Casey's been serving very well. And hasn't moved Casey around as much as she should have, and just needs to get her moving and play a few more angles. And get that serve percentage up a little bit, but pretty much all the same things we've been talking about. Casey just seems to be more solid, more just
15 or
more consistent. Less errors.
oh! 15-30.
Just a little bit of surprise, though, how the level of Tammy's play has dropped off, because she got back to 5-all, lost the set 7-5, then broke first game to second. Now she's lost 4 straight games. So that's a little bit of a surprise.
That's what I said after the first set. Even though she lost it 7-5, she should have been very happy by coming back after 4-1. And I think it was very disappointing for her, the 2 games that she played after 5-all. That's what it seemed like. Even though she got a break straight up in the second set, her level just seems to have really dropped, and just mentally she doesn't seem to be she just seemed to be down at the beginning of that second set.
30-40.
And I think with Casey you have to be ready for a fight. Got to continue being ready for a tough match.
So Casey gets a look at the second serve. Great point. That's well played.
Juice.
Great shot. Great point.
come up with that. She'll get Patterson break point of her own. Desperately needed. Hasn't been able to convert too many of them.
That's a great shot. I think she's also been returning very well, like I said today, not just consistent, but really being aggressive on the return, and I think that you can definitely see that doubles play right there.
You can see where she's standing to receive serve.
It's another great return. I think also you can see, she did win those 2 titles a couple of weeks ago, and she's had 10 matches. She won 10 matches, and she does seem to be. She seems to be very confident, in her game, and yeah, she's hitting the ball very well.
Cheers. Advantage Patterson.
Not a chance to just hang on here for Tammy.
That's some great serving.
2 great serves to hold her serve. Still Casey in control here, a set and 4-2 up.
Love.
It's great play from Casey. Again, really moving the ball around the court and moving Tammy.
Well, she just loves to take it so early on that backhand inside the baseline.
Yeah, she has a great backhand. That backhand's really been working well today as well.
40, love.
It's a great return.
40-15.
Well, taking it early herself there. I'll leave out of the Lacqua's playbook.
Once again, some great power. It's interesting. Every year we come here and you watch Tammy Patterson, we sort of jot down a few little notes and we think, gee, she could really do something, because she's got that ability to really strike the ball well, but just that consistency is the thing that seems to really hold her back. Looking at her year and half her tournaments going out that first round.
Game Delacroix.
So it is Casey Delacroix in control. She's only a game away potentially from being in the final. Well, Wednesday, January 8, you don't want to miss this.
I'll be playing Joe Wilfried Zonga. We always have fun on the court, even when it's serious. I think we have great chemistry on the court together. We also played an epic at the Australian Open last year, so I think people can really expect a great match, I'm sure it's going to be a good show, and I hope this time I will be in. people should come in and enjoy it.
Certainly going to be a great night. Wednesday, January 8. Roger celebrating, of course, 10 years since his first victory here in Australia, 10 years since he launched his Roger Federer Foundation. He's going to be playing his good mate, Joe Wilfred Tsonga. Ticket price is starting at $64.90. You can have courtside seating if you want to get in the corporate angle and wine and dine. You can do that as well. Proceeds going to Roger's Foundation and also the Australian Tennis Foundation. The boys will be mic'd up. They'll be having a little bit of a laugh and some great highlights. It's going to be a great night, and I reckon there, Alan, wouldn't be too many seats left.
No, and what an opportunity to see Federer, because one never knows how many more times he'll be in action in Melbourne, you know, and just so I hope everybody can get along and it'll be a full house.
15 love.
That'll be a great night indeed, so make sure you book your tickets tonight with Roger Federer. He's always got behind any great cause around the world. He does such great work in Africa, helping children less fortunate. It is a great part of tennis players, isn't it, Yolanda? They do get behind some of the world's great causes and really either donate money or time to help people that haven't got as fortunate a life, I suppose.
Yeah, it's great. I think also every year, the last few years, there's always been an event on before the Australian Open, raising money, and yeah, it's great.
$40 love.
It's just that forehand again.
Just needs to move up the court a little more. She waits for it, then it drops a bit low.
Game, Patterson.
That's a great hold. Stay in the match.
Yeah, nice quick service game for Tammy Patterson. So now it is on the racket of Casey. See if she can close it out here in straight sets and book a spot in tomorrow's final.
Just didn't move up to that.
Rodionova just about ready to go. Victoria Radjicic, her opponent. That coming up well. Could be very shortly if Casey can close it out here.
I think there'll be a few nerves there playing for the final.
15-all.
Great job.
Using all parts of the court.
15-30.
Rally some deep returns.
Well, a tough point by both players, and psychologically a huge win in it for Patterson, because it gives her a slight chance here at 15-30.
See where Casey serves, so you'd have to be expecting the wide one, but yeah.
30-all.
It's another first serve. Another 15-30 point.
Well, it's clearly been one of the differences, hasn't it? The first serve of Delacroix.
Yeah. Match point now for Casey to move through to tomorrow's final here at Melbourne Park. played by Delacroix. She's been powerful off the ground right from the outset.
7-5, 6-3.
A little more comfortable in her quarterfinal win. 7-5, 6-3, and the top seed will feature here tomorrow in the women's wildcard final. And Casey could be pretty happy with her day's work. Got out to a great start. Tammy Patterson challenged in that first set. Casey was able to win that. And then the early jump, of course, in the second set. On a beautiful day here in Melbourne. We'll hear from Casey very shortly with Adrian Franklin. Stick around because we've got the other women's semi to come between Arina Rodionova and Victoria Radjicic. That should be a fairly even affair to see who meets Casey in the final. Well, let's take you through all the match highlights. Stoney and Yolani can talk us through these. There was some powerful hitting from both players.
There was, yeah. I think there was, a few key differences today, like the serve and just even the return getting off, into the points. Tammy was just too inconsistent for Casey today. Made too many unforced errors, and I think Casey just used the court a lot better, as we can see here. I just feel like Tammy didn't move Casey around enough. Another great return, and that backhand was really working well today, and she was very sharp from the beginning. There's another one.
Yeah, so some good signs from Tammy. I think her forehand has improved, as she mentioned, but
Look, she has a big game. I think she can afford to. A lot of these matches, she can afford to take some pace off and maybe be in the points a little bit more sometimes and use those angles and. Maybe just not play so much, up and down the court because she's a great ball striker. So, there's great positives in her game.
Game so much Delacroix by 2 sets to love.
Yes, it was a nice way to finish for Casey Delacroix. So she gets through to the final, and she is about to have a chat with Adrian Franklin. She can head back in and relax for the afternoon. Adrian?
She certainly can. Casey straight through to the final of the wildcard playoff. One match away. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's great. I'm stoked to be in the final. It's good to get through today, and just one more to go, and look forward to playing the final tomorrow.
And you just mentioned going into the match, you wanted to play aggressive and step into the ball. You seemed to do that. You were hitting a lot of angle winners as well, really successfully. Yeah, I did want to be a bit more aggressive. The other day I felt like I was getting pushed around a bit early on against Monique, and I wanted to be the one that was, dictating today, because Tammy can be really aggressive and hit a good ball, but I wanted her to feel pressure and me to step up, and I think I did that pretty well today. And now your winning streak, I think you had 10 matches in a row that you won leading into this one. Yeah. You've won 3 here. Yeah. Have you had 13 in a row? Has that ever happened before? Well, I actually won like 30 matches in a row, and I won those 6 25s in a row like a couple of years ago when I was coming back. So I'm not even halfway there to my record. So it's just good to have another win. This week was all about trying to get as many matches and as much court time because I'd just be practicing anyway. So it's good to be out here playing competitively under a competitive situation. You always do different things when you're out here playing a match as opposed to practice. So it's good to practice those things out here today. And like I said, one more tomorrow, and I'll be really happy if I can secure that wild card. And I was just thinking before about the matches you've played here at the Australian Open. There are so many memories of you playing on Rod Laver Arena, having the family in the box. When you think of the Australian Open, what comes to mind? Yeah, it's my favourite Grand Slam. It's always this time of year, and coming down here you can feel the build-up and everything's starting to happen, but it's definitely my favourite Grand Slam, and it's where I've probably got my most special memories. So, it doesn't matter what court I play on or what time of the year I'm down here at Melbourne Park. I love being around here, and I look forward to playing tomorrow, and like I said, hopefully securing that wild card so I can know that I can set my summer up, and look forward to that in January. And just finally, you mentioned you're a little bit tired at the moment, so it's a beautiful day, but you're going to go and watch the cricket for the afternoon? Yeah, I've been training, like I said, this whole week, so I know I've got one more day to mentally prepare for tomorrow, and I still feel pretty good, and I feel like I've got so much out of this week, even though I've been playing here at the playoffs. So this afternoon's about having a massage, watching the cricket, and just having a relax before tomorrow. The Aussies are doing well, 6 wickets down, but I reckon we'll get it again. Yeah. You think so? Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit worried there early on yesterday with the cricket, but no, we finished off well, so I look forward to watching the end of it today. Well done. We'll see you here for the final tomorrow. Cool, thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, she loves all her sport. She's a Carlton supporter, loves her cricket, of course, in her native WA, where it is sweltering at the moment, but of course,
They are in a nice position, the Aussies, at 6 down. Yes, that woman has just reminded me that is catering rocked up yet for our lunch. A little peckish after that first semi-final. This one is going to be a beauty. Arena Rodionova and Victoria Radjicic. We cannot wait for it. It's coming up shortly here from Melbourne Park. Yeah, going to be a great battle. Both girls are ready to go. Adrian Franklin is down with both of them. Starting with Arena Rodionova.
Arena, you haven't played since Tuesday. You had Storm Sanders who withdrew. Is that a little bit tricky going into this match today for you at all?
Yeah, it was a bit strange having 3 days off after my first match, but we'll see. Hopefully it should be alright.
At least the weather's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a little bit windy sometimes, but yeah, it's nice and sunny. It's like 24, 5. Perfect weather for tennis, so hopefully it'll be a good match.
Enjoy, play well.
Thank you.
As we welcome Arena's opponent over to the mic, Victoria. Hello, Victoria, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
That's the way. Now, the other day, your forehand was the dominant stroke. You like to flatten that out. Is that something you want to come out today and really hit some winners off the forehand?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's my game, so I'll try that as much as I can, so we'll just see how we go.
And it's the semi-final. A little bit of nerves, perhaps, going into this one?
Yeah, well, as I was last time too, I was nervous. I mean, I'm always nervous, so it's alright. I'll just try to play my game, and that's it.
Play well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a fascinating matchup coming up. Thank you, Adrian. Yelena Dokic has been our special guest commentator. We are going to let you go, though, because it's some beautiful sunshine. You can get outdoors. Have a hit it all today, or have you had a hit this morning already?
Yeah, I'll have a hit later on today, and yeah, even tomorrow. I'll keep on going until Hopman Cup and get as much practice as I can. And the weather's really getting better. We've had pretty bad weather in the last couple of weeks, so yeah, looking forward to any time on court.
Terrific. Lovely for you to stop by. We're going to be hearing you, of course, with a bit of commentary on at the Hopman Cup in Perth in what about just under 2 weeks now, and playing as a reserve, and maybe we'll see you out there as well. And good luck. Hope the journey keeps going upward for you.
Thanks, thank you.
Yelena Dokic joining us here in the commentary box. Arena Rodionova, Victoria Radjicic to come very shortly as the day gets better. Beautiful day to sit out in the sun and watch some tennis. So if you're in Melbourne, get down, free entry. You can grab a coffee, grab something to eat, anything you like, and might need a little umbrella over the top if the sun's a little bit hot on your back, but no, it's a great day. Great day for tennis. Men's final tomorrow. Going to be fantastic. We'll give you all those details.
7 to 9 ball change. Today's at their 7 line umpire, so there will be movement behind the receiver once the ball's in play. And I'll just remind you, we do play advantage in the third set. Victoria, heads. It's heads. So.
Okay, so we got that sorted. Radjicic to serve first. Had a fantastic quarter-final, as Arena said. She hasn't played for 3 days, but I suppose we'll get an early indication whether that has any effect at all. Watched her out here practicing this morning, Arena Rodionova, and she was in a nice little groove. She's a great competitor. Her ranking at the moment at 230 in the world, so looking to try and get back in the top 200. Arena has been ranked as high as 157 in the world, been playing a lot of the Australian Pro Tour this year. She's also ventured abroad, playing a lot of the ITF Tour. In fact, one in Perth a few weeks ago. Arena Rodionova, semi in Bendigo. She's made 3 quarterfinals, a couple on Australian soil, one in Margaret River, the other one in Burnie, and made a quarter-final in Indonesia. So certainly still in that age bracket that she could have an impact on the WTA Tour. In fact, if she does make it through, Ellen Stone, to the final tomorrow, it'll be her birthday. So that'll be a nice way to celebrate your birthday. She can get through here and then maybe defeat Casey Delacroix for a spot in the Australian Open. But a lot of work to do, because Victoria Radjicic played a sensational game a couple of days ago, and Arena's up for a real challenge here this afternoon.
Well, notice Victoria said she was a little nervous, and she was the other day, which I think's fine for an up-and-coming player. It's a big moment for her, and you've got to feel a bit on edge and some nerves, because if you're not nervous, you're not going to come up with a performance, because it's all about performing at this top level. So once she settles down, I think we'll see some pretty impressive tennis from her.
Yeah, Victoria, of course, on home soil. It has been a breakthrough year, winning her first couple of ITF tournaments, one in Bundaberg, one in Sydney. She's made a semi-final while travelling abroad in Serbia, and has been quite consistent, making 5 other quarterfinals: Bendigo, Perth, Serbia, Mildura, and also Launceston. But significant breakthrough in a couple of those tournaments, which has seen her ranking come inside the top 300, and as Todd Woodbridge has been telling us the last few days, he certainly feels that she is one player that could really make some strides and maybe develop into a potential top 100 player down the track, and still only 19 years of age, so hopefully a long career ahead of her.
Well, I think the thing that she can do is she can hit some winners, and at the top level of the game, you've got to have some winning shots. We do see a lot of the players, both in the men's and the women's game, where they're very sound players. They do everything well, but nothing really outstandingly well. And you've got to have, in my mind anyway, a big serve and a big forehand, because that's where you win a lot of points. Every point starts with a serve, and if you can start and finish the point with that shot, what a bonus. And a lot of our players have good all-court games, but there's hundreds of players around the world with good all-court games. So we need to have some weapons, and this girl's got one, and that's the forehand. So I agree with Todd. She continues to improve, and at 19 years of age, I mean, she won't be
2 minutes
reached her potential yet for quite a few years, you wouldn't think so. Plenty to look forward to.
So this one coming up very shortly. Should be a really even contest, and we cannot wait for the Brisbane International at Pat Rafter Arena.
So, Marty's buying tickets to the tennis. We're in, right?
Marty?
Yeah.
No, we're out.
Oh, you cannot be serious! We're definitely in.
Okay, we're in.
Great. Great.
Are you in? See superstars like Federer and Williams battle it out at the Brisbane International. Book now.
Tickettech.com.au. Can Serena lift the trophy again? In, well, unique Serena fashion. It is a fantastic arena, Pat Rafter Arena. 5,500 seats. And Roger Federer playing for the very first time. Leighton Hewitt will be there. Nick Kyrgios, Kei Nishikori, Gilles Simon, Grigor Dimitrov, the very exciting Bulgarian, Marinko Vitosevic, along with Leighton representing Australia. Serena will be back.
Victoria Radjicic.
Victoria Azarenka will be there. Maria Sharapova.
Arena Rodionova.
Yolanda Jankovic, Angelique Kerber, Caroline Wozniacki. So we've got a lot of the top teams featuring at the Brisbane International. Tickettech.com.au/Brisbane International to secure your seat courtside. Every seat, a good seat in Brisbane. So beautiful day for tennis. We've had the full gamut of weather here in Melbourne this week. We had day one washed out, which meant the men and the women had to play alongside each other on day two, but we caught up pretty quickly.
So always the start in a big match like this is important, and more so today though, I think, for Victoria Radjicic, because she's the least experienced of the two players. And if she starts well here and gets confident with that the big power game that she's got, then she could be really a handful for Rodionova, who's really consistent and solid and quick around the court, makes you play a lot of balls.
Victoria's win-loss this year, 33 and 17. Arena 31 and 26, so 57 matches and on tour for Arena Rodionova and 50 for Radjicic.
Rodionova, just a couple of last-minute adjustments there, sunglasses, etc., and maybe just a little bit of tactics, just holding up her opponent who's itching to get started, bouncing the ball, ready to serve.
Victoria Radjicic to serve. Play. Love 15. Love 30.
Here's a good early intent here from Rodionova.
Well, not much on that first serve there.
It's certainly a feature quarter-final. That's an interesting service action. Arena Rodionova, though, hitting some clean winners.
First game.
Has got the break. Signalled her intentions early. She might have played a lot of tennis in the last 3 days, but I think she's been champing at the bit to get out there, and that's an impressive start.
Well, we mentioned, and also Victoria mentioned, it's probably a few nerves. Well, that was a bit of a shaky start. Not much on those serves, really. Rodionova, more experienced. As you said, well, 24 tomorrow, so 5 years older, a lot more tougher match situations on the tour than Radjicic has.
Love. Love.
Well, really confident. Hasn't lost a point yet. Quickly into position there. Slightly built player, quick on her feet, which is what you would expect with her build.
Love. Game. Rodionova.
So Rodionova off to the perfect start. She's reeled off 8 consecutive points. 2 games to love. Sure, we hope it's not a repeat of Steffi Graf and Zareva. Was it 32 minutes? The French Open final all those years ago.
Yeah, Natasha Zareva, yeah. Clever.
Love 15.
Just a quick change of her grip here to open the face to get a little bit of slice. See that open racket face? That puts a little bit of spin on the ball.
Love 30.
Well, just can't find the range at the moment. That was an off-centre hit as well. So Rodionova is quick to take advantage of this slow start from her opponent. 10 straight points.
$15.30.
So it's taken an error off the Rodionova racket to get Victoria on the board with a point. Let's see, breaking that 10-point run.
Better signs in that rally from Radjicic, able to stay in the rally. And that's what she needs to do, just to get her confidence back, get the feel of the ball on the strings and controlling a few. Just give the ball a little bit more height, a little bit more margin for her, Victoria. That's all she needs at the moment. Keep herself in the games. Just cutting everything a bit too fine.
She's off to a flyer here, Arina Rodionova. Bit of skipping her step here. 3 games to love on women's semi-final day.
Hey guys, I'm Alicia Mollick and here's my latest MLC Tennis Hotshots tip. Tennis does require a lot of movement. Moving quickly with your first step is critical to getting to the ball on time and on balance. Here are some exercises that helped me when I was playing. That's all for today. Keep practicing hard and having fun with MLC Tennis Hotshots. Stay tuned, more tips coming soon.
MLC Hotshots, and how fit does Alicia look there? Wow, she is in top shape, and there she is, just a couple of kids around. She is a great asset to Australian tennis as we welcome Adrian Franklin to the microphone.
Thank you, Stoney.
Time.
She does a great job, Alicia. She's been here all week watching a lot of the women's matches. And what a start for Arina Rodionova. Serving at 3 games to love. Victoria needs to do something right now.
Love.
And again, Rodionova playing the way she likes to play, being assertive, moving into the court.
Well, this shot there, off-centre hit, which lands mid-court and easy pickings, really. So she just hasn't found the range or the timing yet. Another example of when things aren't going well, you've just got to give yourself more margin of error, higher over the net, not too close to the lines. Just work your way into the rallies. You mightn't win that point, but the more balls you hit, the more comfortable you're going to feel with the match out there.
Now she just changes it up there with a slice backhand. So her strength is her forehand, Victoria Radjicic, but at the moment, she's not really getting a look in. She needs to open up and hit a couple of forehand winners. I think that'll bring her back into the game.
30-all.
So a small opportunity here at 30-all. What do you want to see from her here, Stoney, on the return?
Well, I want to see her just put a couple of balls in play and set up the point. I don't want to see her just go for a cold winner. She's not confident enough at this stage, I don't think.
40-30.
Great first serve. Slider out wide from Rodionova. And she's got another game point. This first set is racing away.
Game. Rodionova.
And she takes it, leads 4 games to
Rodionova
love.
leads 4 games to love.
And that was an effective slice backhand there. Stoney, as we got plenty of fans in today, all sorts of people come to the tennis.
They do. Yeah, it's a good change up there from Rodionova, using her experience. Lovely little slider that skidded mid-court.
Correction ball was good. Replay the point.
Spoke about Victoria's serve the other day. Have you had a look at it? Because it is a bit unusual.
Yes, there's a bit of a hitch there in the backswing, and she's a tall girl, and so the technique's not quite sound enough for her to be able to take use of her height. I think it's
30 love.
We've mentioned how important the first serve is in tennis. First serve and the forehand. Well, she's got the forehand, but I think her first serve, the technique needs a little bit of work to take it to the next level, I think.
See if we can have a look at it here. Just the backswing doesn't quite flow freely.
Doesn't drop down behind her back into the throwing position really as well as it should, and that's what a service motion is. It's just how you would throw a ball.
Well, she's got an opportunity here. 40 love, 3 game points. Here it is again.
And you see it doesn't really drop down far enough into that back scratch position.
(40-15).
You see there's no weight transference in that second serve either. She was backing away from the baseline. You should finish in front of the baseline with the follow through with your weight transfer after the hit.
She just goes down
40,
there.
30.
Nicely weighted lob. Just see, she seems to be okay. Oh, she really got tangled there.
As well disguised, the lob. She wasn't looking for it at all.
So this is a big point here. Second serve. She's had 2 game points. She's got 1 more to come.
Okay.
And she takes it and does well. She's on the board in this women's semi-final.
4 games to 1.
Rodionova leads 4 games to 1 as we have Sean out in the stands with a Richmond football player, Ty Vickery.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. I'm here at the moment with Ty Vickery. Now, Ty, obviously it's a magnificent day here at the tennis, but you've also got a bit of a vested interest in this match, and someone else who's having an absolutely great time out there is Arina Rodionova.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, Arina's my partner at the moment, so it's good to get on such a great day and watch her play.
Now, obviously, the Tigers enjoyed a little bit of success this year. Do you think a little bit of that is rubbing off at the moment?
I hope so. She finally went to a footy match for the first time this year, so hopefully she can see what such a good game football is. But you know, it's great. We both learn off each other, I think.
Now, in terms of training, do you give her a few tips, and does she give you a few tips throughout the year?
We mainly just argue about who trains harder, I think. But no, we've done a little bit together, when we're away on holidays, which is good fun. But they're just such different sports that it's both really interesting for both of us.
She's playing absolutely fantastic at the moment, so we hope she can keep it up. Thanks very much for your time.
No worries, mate. Thanks.
Great work, Sean. Out and about. Plenty of people in the stands. Plenty of sports people, and Ty's been here the past few days. As we see Tammy Patterson there, just having a chat to coach just after the last match. Obviously, didn't quite get the win. I'm sure we'll see Tammy Patterson over the next few years, particularly here at the playoff. So right now, Rodionova leading 4 games to 1. Radjicic is on the board. So just some sliding there, perhaps not quite at the Kim Kleisters level just yet for Rodionova, but she does move around the court rather well.
15 all.
And that's a wasted opportunity there. Not a bad serve, but every single point is like gold here for Radjicic. 4-1 down. Needs to break back here.
Net for serve.
And that's hit the line. Great play from Victoria.
15-30.
And the crowd appreciated that. She took the high ball as a forehand. She had that one there. Angle on the ball. And then just calmly slotted down the line, just in front of the commentary position here. And skidded away from Rodionova. So 15-30, a small window of opportunity here.
And you
can just hear Victoria not at all happy with that shot. Didn't have the weight going through the ball at all.
Out. 40-30.
And just overruled there by the umpire and called out. I think it was just wide. So game point here for Rodionova to take a 5-1 lead, and what you would think would be an unassailable lead in this first set.
Game. Rodionova.
And she takes it.
Rodionova leads 5 games to 1.
And 5-1 lead here in the semi-final of the Australian Open Wildcard playoff. The winner to take on Casey Delacroix, who's in red-hot form earlier today, defeating Tammy Patterson out on court 6. And right now, Victoria just not showing the form that we did see in earlier matches. She beat Jess Moore in a great match in the quarterfinals, played well there, dominated off the forehand side, but she's not getting a look in here at the moment.
15 love.
Victoria just needs to stay in this. What we've seen from Arina Rodionova over the past few years, and with her sister Anastasia, at times they can be a bit emotional out on court and they can allow the opposition to get back into a match that perhaps they shouldn't have. Victoria needs to start thinking about that. As we see the trademark forehand inside out.
15.
Steps into the court and full of confidence. That's not coming back. Great angle there from Rodionova.
30 all.
See just the defensive stroke from Radjicic on the back foot, and she's a couple of metres behind the baseline there. So Rodionova 2 points away from taking this first set. And now she is 1 point.
30-40.
Full of confidence out there at the moment.
set.
way to finish
Running
it.
over.
And she looks
Classic
up to
games
her
to 1. New balls,
box.
please. Ball change.
Ty Vickery putting his hands together. He appreciated that one. And Arena Rodionova, the number 3 seed, takes the set 6 games to 1, using all angles of the court. And here are the highlights. It was all Arena Rodionova from the beginning.
Love 30.
Stepping into the court, using all the angles. Look at that. That's a confidence shot. And again, spoke about the fact that she hadn't played since Tuesday. Storm Sanders withdrew from that quarterfinal. It has not had an impact at all. And Victoria Radjicic has been made to look a little second-rate at the moment. Love the creativity of Rodionova's play. She chips the ball around, times the lob, uses all angles. And she has completely dominated this first set. And we see the finish here. Cracking stroke down the line. Well, there's plenty happening over the summer, and one major event is the Hopman Cup over in Perth.
So, Marty's buying tickets to the tennis. We're in, right?
Marty.
Yeah.
No, we're out.
Oh, you cannot be serious! We're definitely in.
Okay, we're in.
Great. Great.
Are you in? See superstars like Stozer and Songer battle it out at the Hyundai Hopman Cup. Book now.
Not too far away from the Hopman Cup as we resume proceedings in the second set.
15
wow. Rodionova picks up from where she finished off, as we can welcome back, may have missed, the dulcet tones of Alan Stone. You've been having some curry puffs out there, Stoney, for lunch?
Yeah, pretty good, and a muffin.
There was a muffin there?
Yeah.
What sort?
Blueberry.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty impressive, this, isn't it?
Seriously impressive. You're not talking about the curry puffs.
No.
No, sorry. I mean, you know, we spoke about Victoria and the fact that she needs to do a few different things, but at the moment it's almost just the fact that Rodionova's playing far too well. That can happen in tennis sometimes, can't it?
Well, she jumped her at the start, which we thought might happen. Radjicic, when she spoke to you before the match, she was a little bit nervous, etc. Well, she lost the first 10 points. Now, it's pretty hard to recover from that. And Rodionova's smart enough and experienced enough to just keep the foot to the pedal. And she's not going to give her a sniff, not going to let her in if she can possibly help it. And so it's absolutely critical for Victoria that she can somehow stem the battle or turn it her favour by doing really well at the start of the set here. She's got to make a statement.
30 all.
And perhaps using the depth of the court could be a way for her to make a statement.
Well, if she could just somehow manufacture a breaker serve here to start the second set, I mean, how much would that lift her confidence, which is pretty low at the moment? Well, that's a help.
40.
That is, and I mentioned in the first set, Stoney, that Rodionova, she is known to, you know, become a bit emotional out on court. We know that. So Victoria needs to start thinking that way in this set. And she's got a second serve here. Can't quite take the opportunity.
Jeez.
Oh, good defensive work there by Rodionova, because Radjicic had it where she wanted it. The ball on her big forehand. She had several opportunities, couldn't put it away, and having weathered the storm, Rodionova turned it around and won the point.
Advantage Rodionova.
And that's just a waste there. When she lost the first set so convincingly, she really needs to take every opportunity she has.
Game. Rodionova.
Rodionova fights back. Saves the break point.
First game, second set.
And crosses over at 1 game to love. So earlier today, Stoney, Casey Delacroix, she took on Tammy Patterson and was pretty convincing, 7-5, 6-3. She heads to the final tomorrow.
Yes, a pretty high level, high standard of match there. 7-5, tight first set. Patterson coming back from 5-2 to 5-all, and then just lost her way a little bit there. It often happens with the lesser player. They fight back to tie up the set. Then they feel they relax a little in the safety of, say, 5-all. Fell away a little bit there, and then the Delacroix just a little bit too good, a little bit too classy with her serving and her backhand returns.
And that's very well done. Super play from Victoria. Needs to start building some momentum early here. It was that backhand there that wrong-footed Rodionova. Opened up the forehand, and that's her favourite stroke.
Oh. 30, love.
And that was an unusual decision there from Rodionova. It's almost like an afterthought, that drop shot for her sometimes. Just, I'll throw this in. And the level of play has lifted here, Stoney, as she flattens that out straight down the line.
There's an acknowledged by Arena there. She could have played one of these on the break point she had on that last service game. She went cross court too many times, but it's there. The weapon's there. Just a little bit more patience to work her way into the rallies until she gets the right ball.
Wow. That's timing.
40-15.
Well, not much on the second ball, not a lot of spin, just sits there saying, hit me. You see no patience there. That was just the first ground stroke in the rally, and she was trying to hit it a bit too aggressively. Just need to construct the points a little better, but it's pretty inexperienced, really.
Game, Rajish. 1 game off.
Well, that'll give her a confidence, a well-needed lift. And if she can just stay level for a couple of games, 1-all, 2-all, 3-all, just keep herself level, and the game will gradually, you would think, pick up, confidence grow, and we may yet see the best of her.
She's definitely being more competitive now within each point, but as you say, she needs the patience to continue. She's got to put the first set aside for now and just look at that 1 game all. Second set, this is open for anyone. She just chopped down a little bit too much on that one, didn't she? No,
oh, yes.
No punch.
Bad miss, really. It was such an easy volley.
A bit lazy?
Well, she almost played it with the 2 hands, and she's had a racket too high above the intended contact point, so she had to drag it down.
15-all.
She really only needed to just bunt it over the net anyway. Good at least to see her coming in and using it, showing a bit of variety.
good pace on the
15,
return
30.
there from Victoria. As we hear Arena just starting to get the self-talk going. She doesn't mind a conversation with herself on court. An opportunity for Victoria. If she can just get in front in the second set, you'd think Arena would start that conversation with herself and perhaps become a little irritated. And there we go.
Rajic.
So Victoria Rajicic.
Rajic leads 2-1.
Takes a small amount of momentum and she leads in this second set 2-1 after losing the first 6-1. As we can head out now to Sean, who is with Tammy Patterson.
Now, Tammy, obviously today didn't go quite to plan, but it's great to see you out here supporting your good friend and training partner in Arena Rodionova.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good to be out here watching Arena. We've been training together for the last 6 weeks, and we're in a Fed Cup squad, and Alicia's been planning to get a group of girls together for a while now. So there's a few of us. There's me, Arena, Monique, and Liv Rogowska. She's not here, she's in the States at the moment, but no, we've been training really well together, and hopefully next year we'll be able to be travelling together and getting a good group and having Lou with us and trying to get to the top of the game. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, did you expect to see Arena come out in such devastating form?
That's Arena. She loves coming out and starting off really well, and she's playing well, and Vic's obviously lifting her game now, so Arena's got to stay on top. So yeah.
And just the final one, what would be your plans after this now?
All I know is that I'll be training until Feb, and then the 250s starting in February. So that's all I know at the moment.
And do you get a quick break?
Day or two.
Awesome. All right, we'll get back to the tennis. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks. No worries.
Thanks very much, Sean. And Tammy, of course, losing earlier today, but she's in good form. So we'll see her over the next year. Hopefully she can continue playing well. And right now, Victoria, she's doing well. Arena there on screen, just starting to become slightly irritated, Stoney.
Yes, well, you notice it's made her play more balls there. She did construct the rally better there. She a bit more patience and using her power, and eventually forced the error.
And too good there. She does make the right decision
15.
in terms of coming to the net, doesn't she, Arena?
Well, she's quick to read the short ball and up to it, and then follows it forward, which is what you should do. A lot of the players see the short ball, just get to it, push it back and retreat. Rajicic just dropping in a slice backhand there. And it caught Rodionova off guard. I think she needs to do that a little bit as well. Change it up. Sometimes the slice backhand isn't utilised enough, particularly in the women's game. A little late into the preparation there. You see she had to rush the shot. Didn't quite get the racket back early enough. So big moment here now. Victoria Rajicic, she was dominated in the first set, lost that one to 1 game, and right now she has an opportunity to take a 3-1 lead. Just pulls off it at the last moment. Both girls hitting the ball really cleanly, as you can hear in the effects mics.
but it's just that wanting to stay in the rally for 5-10 strokes. Neither of them are making that decision.
Advantage Rodionova.
Well, not the time to serve a double fault. Not that there's a good time, but it certainly isn't a deuce, 2-1 deuce, and you're just striving to pick up your play and get into the match.
Getting Rodionova.
And Rodionova fights back and levels this one up. 2 games all.
Well, I'd have to say a disappointing game there from Victoria. Just things starting to pick up for her, and all of a sudden the intensity drops, and those couple of errors, you said the miss-hit, she was late on a forehand, then a double faulted deuce, and really undoing all the good work she'd done to break serve for the first time in that last game.
Sliding wide. I do enjoy watching the way Rodionova goes about it. She slices that serve out wide, and then she's trying to go back in behind Rajicic, slicing it out wide. She uses all angles of the court.
Yes, she's a busy player, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's doing something. Hustle, bustle, creating.
Surely not the right stroke. Off a good serve, trying to crack that forehand. Really got to start to think about the way she's playing, Victoria. It's a big moment for her today, semi-final. Don't want to waste it.
30-all.
It's hard to see which way this is going to go, this set. Whoever starts, I think it's whoever starts to really think about the match and the way they're playing. I don't think.
Well, I thought Rajicic was really starting to look good, and she just gave that service game away the last game.
So
if anything, I think the momentum's turning towards her in this set. It's whether she can take advantage of it. Chance here.
And just wide.
Juice.
Just had to make Rodionova play. Rodionova was moving into the net. Perhaps aiming it low at her feet was the better decision. Back to Juice. 2 games apiece.
Advantage Rajic.
I often see Arena looking up at Louise Fleming and her support staff. She obviously needs to feed on some support from them.
I think her sister's up there as well, Anastasia. Might be able to get a shot of them in a moment. And she does it well.
Juice.
I've just been impressed by it. There you go. There is sister Anastasia in the white cap to the left. She played earlier this week in the playoffs. Very strong family, the Rodionovas. Like to support each other.
Advantage Rajic.
Another window here for Victoria. How many opportunities can she waste? She needs to really put her stamp on the match at some stage. Needs to be now.
Juice.
A well-placed serve there under pressure. Right in over, a little slider on the line, skidding off the paint.
And again,
advantage Rodionova.
Comes up with the first serve, Rodionova.
Juice.
A lengthy game here. Midway through the second set. Get the feeling whoever wins this will move to the chair full of confidence. And a great decision. She stabilises herself at the net well, and more often than not makes the right call with the volley.
Yes, she's very neat with her racket work at the net, very quick around the court. Right shot there, just a little chip shot. And you see minimum of effort there, just pushing the ball. It's not the best technique you've ever seen on the volleys, but sound enough there just to put it in the right spot.
Okay.
And Rodionova takes what could be an all-important fifth game of the second set.
Leads 3 games to 2.
Heads to the chair, leading 3-2 after winning the first 6 games to 1. So, Stoney, we're looking forward to tomorrow. It's the big one, the men's final. Ben Mitchell taking on Jordan Thompson. Mitchell obviously won the playoff here last year, and he takes on the 19-year-old Thompson, who we like to watch. He's fiery out on court.
Well, certainly looking forward to this men's final tomorrow. Differing styles and certainly different personalities between those two. Should be a beauty as we welcome back Brett Phillips.
Thank you, Alan. Beautiful sunshine outside. It is just a glorious tennis day. And it could be a great day for Arena Rodionova.
Love 15.
Because you get a feeling here. She can go 4-2 up. She can just about see the finish line.
All.
Well, every now and then that little extra pace off the Rajicic's forehand causes it to be a bit late on the shot, Rodionova, but she's playing by far the more consistently of the two players.
Another clean winner off the Rodionova racket.
15-30.
Like the way she was moving forward there as well in case that ball was returned. She was ready.
All.
Spends a lot of time looking at her racket, as if it's the racket's fault sometimes. Perhaps the restring, maybe she tried a slightly tighter racket, tighter restring.
Huge point at 30 all.
Well, again, she's getting the first good hit in the rally arena. As you see here, she's the one who's dictating play, moving Victoria from side to side. Movement isn't one of Victoria's strengths. She's a tall girl, has a little trouble at times reacting quickly and recovering.
Oh, Roddy Nova had the chance, just had to put it back into play. So we're at Juice. Took the first 6 games to 1. 3-2 she leads in the second.
Advantage, Racic.
Nice deep return there from Victoria, so she continues to hold serve. 3 all in this second set. Roddy Nova off to the flyer in the opening set, but Magic's trying to just get herself into the game.
Well, you get the feeling if she could just lift her game a little bit that she could take this second set, but when she just starts to give you that impression, then she commits a couple of loose shots and lets Roddy Nova back into it.
Oh! 15 love. Oh! 15 all. Oh! 15, 30. $15.40.
Well, Magic's forehand starting to do some damage. That extra pace on it, it just rushes Roddy Nova a bit, and she's just missed a few because of the extra pace and the less time she's got.
30-40.
There it comes off the Roddy Nova racket, so she struck when it counted. Victoria Rasic leading at 4 games to 3, and she'll come out to serve for a 5-3 lead. Sean Manuera is in the stands, and he is with Anastasia Roddy Nova.
Well, Anastasia, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. Now, Arena started off so well, but now it seems to have levelled out. Are there any things that you're seeing at the moment that are really standing out to you?
Well, I came when it was she was 4-1 up, so I didn't really see the beginning of the match because I was practicing. But what I see now, just her intensity dropped a little bit, and Vicky started playing a bit more consistent. So Arina just has to, stay in the point, don't rush it, and like basically making her play a couple more shots, I think.
So would that just be the main message? If you could just give her a quiet few words, just to keep the intensity up.
Are you trying to say that I should start coaching? I think she knows what she should be doing on the court, and yeah, she just needs to start moving a little bit better and with her feet, and I think construct the point a little better without rushing it. Yeah.
Do you think that having that extra day off played any part in this little bit of a lull, or do you just reckon that it's just how Victoria's playing?
Well, there's always two players involved, and I don't think the day off really helped, because they didn't really have any tough matches. So I don't think it actually makes any difference here.
Thanks very much, Anastasia. We'll get back to the tennis. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sean. Anastasia Rodionova. Yeah, tough first round loss for her. Back on Tuesday, 9-7. Set up there beautifully for Victoria, who anticipated well and able to close out the point. Great rally, though.
Sure was, and great defensive work from Rodionova. I mean, she looked out of that point half a dozen times and just managed to keep it alive. And you never know, you make your opponent play one more ball, particularly if they're not full of confidence. There's a chance that they might miss. One of the best points of the match.
Net for serve.
See the frustration from her there.
15.
She just can't believe she would commit an error like that. It was just a routine ball. Straight to her on the backhand.
She's done such a great job to get in this position with the break and doesn't want to give it away.
Well, she did it earlier in the set. She broke and then dropped a serve, gave it right back with errors, just like she's done here so far. That'll help her.
30.
So looking at the racket, hands on hips. A few errors from both players, and I have to say, Brett, the level of play in this match not quite up to the first semi-final between it was Delacroix and Patterson. But it's a big match. Understandably, both girls pretty tight.
So Arena taking advantage of
30-40.
Certainly not a rocketing serve coming down from Victoria. So now an opportunity for her to break.
Yes.
Just struggling there for that extra pace to try to put it away, lifting up. You lift your body up, the arm comes up and the ball goes long. Just striving for that extra pace.
Rodionova really attacking the serve.
Advantage, Rodionova.
well played from Arena Rodionova. She was broken and she's able to break back in the next game. 4-all. Having taken the first set 6-1, really executed this point very well.
That's the second time now she's been down a break and been able to break back immediately. So she's fighting hard, but Rajacic is just letting her off the hook a little here. Great court movement from Marina. Gee, she's quick.
15 love.
So her speed around the court wins her this rally. I think Victoria thought she'd done enough. She wasn't trying to hustle back quickly. I think she thought she had the point won. Great movement from Rodionova.
Love.
Yeah, well put away, so looking to hold to love here.
40 love.
Tour since 2005. Arena started very young. She's still only, well, will turn 24 tomorrow. Well thought out point again. Already Rodionova in a very good position at the moment.
Rodionova leads 5-4.
6-1, 5-4 here at Melbourne Park. You can log on now, aoblitz.com.au. You've got until December 31, and it's been a fantastic competition in the build-up to the summer of tennis. I've been part of that and seen so many of the nominations coming through. Complete challenges. Of course, registered participants can earn points for taking challenges, which are then awarded to their nominated town. If you haven't seen it, get involved, aoblitz.com.au. It's interactive. We need you to do just something a little bit out there, something a little bit special. Send them through. You could have one of the top players playing for your nominated town. And some massive prizes as part of the AO Blitz, which has been going all over Australia. Spending a fair bit of time in Victoria this week. Check out the website for all the location details.
15 love. Love.
Not much spin on that second ball. You need a nice bit of top spin so that you can get it up high over the net and allow the spin to bring it into the court safely. Hers is pretty flat and therefore not a lot of margin of error.
Double fault again, so yeah, the serve has been interesting to watch this week. It actually served her quite well in a quarter-final, but
nice.
The techniques
not,
obviously
no, it's letting her down today.
A little bit different. Not a lot of pace on the serve. Yeah, great shot up the line from Rodionova. Now within 1 point of being 40. In the final.
Catching Rajicic looking for a cross court there.
Juice.
Well, a great opportunity for Arena there. Well in that point. Back to the relative safety of Juice.
Advantage Rodionova.
So another match point coming up here for Rodionova to make it through to the women's wildcard final. Casey Delacqua is there already. That one sails over the baseline. Rodionova does it in straight sets.
6-4.
In convincing style, she will meet Casey Delacqua tomorrow in the final. Didn't have to play her quarter-final with Storm Sanders pulling out. She's had 3 days to think about this one, and well, certainly she made a very big impression in the first probably 5 minutes of this match, where she won the first 10 points. And really, from there, Victoria certainly making a bit of a challenge in the second set, but she was able to answer that challenge, and she gets the opportunity to take on the top seed.
Yes, and probably need to lift the game to another level, I think, also when you come up against Casey Delacqua. But all you can do is win on the day, and she did that comfortably by virtue of that very quick start.
Well, let's take you through the highlights of this second women's semi-final. And, well, early going, it was all Arena Rodionova. There were winners flying off her racket from all parts. Alan?
Yes, she was very confident. She was moving quickly and really had the ball on a string to start with in that first set. Her opponent, unfortunately for her, Victoria, just couldn't get into the game. A little bit nervous, and she was rushed all around the court by Rodionova.
First set, Rodionova.
It was the end of the first set with a typical point that she'd played. Second set, she had a few opportunities. Rajicic broke on 2 occasions and then lost her serve each time. She was just a little bit loose. She couldn't really find her best game the entire day. Never recovered really from the slow start. And although Rodionova had a little bit of trouble getting through, she was still by far the better player on the day, as the score, I think, would indicate.
Yeah, power from the back of the court, and so often trying to get into the net as well. She's played a lot of doubles at Arena Rodionova, and she does paint the lines throughout her match. And she certainly had Victoria Rajicic on the run for the majority, and Arena Rodionova certainly deserves her spot in the final tomorrow against Casey Delacqua. Plenty of variety. This was a great point, this one, where she really anticipated beautifully, covered the court. She certainly moves around extremely quickly. Rodionova is through to the final. 6-1, 6-4 to take on Casey Delacqua, and she's standing by with Adrian Franklin.
Arena, congratulations. You're through to the final to play Casey Delacqua, and you're 1 match away from a main draw berth.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting tomorrow. I don't think I've ever played Casey before. I thought it was going to be interesting and a bit different, because I played Vicky obviously a few times this year and a couple times last year, and I played Sally a few times, so I know I played Casey, so I'm excited for tomorrow.
Watching the way you were playing out there today, it seemed as though it's really tough to pick some of your shots. You like to move the ball around, create a lot of angles, you move to the net. It must be tough for your opponent to play you. Is that how you feel?
To be honest, it's tough for me sometimes to know where I'm going to hit, so it's a surprise for opponent all the time. And yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to do. I'm trying not to show anything on the court, well, except emotions. That's like, can't go anywhere.
They were slowly coming in, the emotions, but you seemed to really suppress them and push them to the side.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I wasn't happy with a few of my shots today, but happens, you know. And overall, it was a good match, and hopefully everyone enjoyed it, and I think it was pretty good.
We spoke to a number of your people in your crew,
yeah,
so Ty Vickery is over there. We had your sister, and they were all commenting on how you played, but it must be great to have a huge amount of support down here at the moment.
What did Ty Vickery could say about tennis? He has no idea about this game. If it's less than at least 18 people on the court, like he has no idea what's happening. So, what did you ask him?
Well, I think he was saying, you know, the only thing you guys do when you speak about sport is you argue as to who trains the strongest or the most. So do you have a comment? Who trains the hardest?
Well, I don't even think there should be like a fight or argument, because it's obvious that tennis is much tougher sport than AFL. Like, it's just not even a question. So I don't even know why he still consider that AFL has like something to do with it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you watch him play? Are you interested in the AFL?
I'm not interested in NFL, but I'm interested for him not to get concussed anymore, because he got twice this year, and I watched 2 games, and I don't think it's really good for him. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully next year will be a bit better injury-wise.
And I've just heard tomorrow is going to be a bigger day for more reasons than one. It's your birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow, so please everyone come at like around 11 o'clock with the presents and like with the cakes, and like you can sing happy birthday. So yeah, like please make me feel like welcome here. So. The guys are saying I should give you a bit of a kiss and a hug. Maybe I'll do you want a hug? Happy birthday. But Ty Vickery is here, so.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Can I get
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey. Now, just finally, Casey Dellacqua, you haven't played her before. That's really unique and rare when you play a lot of these other players quite often.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I watched a couple of her matches in the playoffs, so I know something about her, but I'm not going to tell you obviously because the match is tomorrow. Maybe after the match we'll talk about it, but I have some ideas.
Well, let's hope there are 2 exciting moments for you tomorrow. Your birthday, congratulations. We'll sing it happy birthday tomorrow either way, but good luck in the final.
Alone in the stands, please just sing it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Adrian. I'll tell you what, Adrian and Arena have formed. They've formed a bond here at this Wildcard playoff every year. It's always the longest interview out of all the players, but she's got a bit of personality, Arena. We love the tennis players that bring a little bit to the table and let us into their world, and she was fantastic today, 6-1, 6-4.
I don't think Ty would be all that impressed with her opinion of his knowledge of the game of tennis.
Well, I noticed he was on his phone a bit during the match, so I'm not sure how much he had analysed it. That was the match earlier today, if you're just logging on. Casey Dellacqua, the #1 seed, through to the final, 7-5, 6-3. Tammy Patterson certainly threw down the challenge early, but as the match wore on, Casey certainly was able to prevail quite comfortably in the end. So this is what we have for you tomorrow, right here on our broadcast court. The Wildcard playoff final for the women, the top seed, Casey Dellacqua, and the 3rd seed, Arena Rodionova, and that will be followed by the men's final. This should be a beauty. Ben Mitchell, 3rd seed, hasn't dropped a set all week, has been in superb form. He takes on the up-and-comer from New South Wales, Jordan Thompson, who's been a bit of a bolter in the field. He's won 3 4-set matches. Could he finish off with a fairy tale win to get through to his first ever Australian Open? It'll take some beating though to get past Ben Mitchell. Your quick tips, Alan?
Well, look, I'd have to go with Ben. I think he's been the best player in the men's event and showed it, and also Casey in the women. It's hard to go past either of those 2.
All right, Ronnie Nova talking to a bit of the press. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning from 10:50 Melbourne time. Going to be 2 great finals, 4 fantastic competitors. We'll talk to you then.